What the heck is this place? Are we dead? I swear, if Harold killed us, I'm gonna come back and haunt him.
You know, this is actually incredibly similar to the doorway to that strange school Niseko and friends now attend. But I don't see any walls I can bang on relentlessly until they let us in.
Chill out, this is what Harry Boy said we'd see. Nothing but white as far as the eye can see. Like my ma's place during family reunions before I started dating Champ. We just gotta call out that phrase. Akashi Abil Khan an Dev Asu Perv Eshjasi Shul Ekin Sevik Urma. How in the flip did you remember that? I wrote it down on my arm, it's right here, see? Oh yeah, look at that. Whoa! Oh my god. Okay, well I guess that worked. Jeez, this place is massive.
Yeah, this is wild. Would you look at that? Who would have thought that all the information in all existence would be stored on beta tapes of all things?
Excuse me, beta tapes? What are you seeing something different from me? I'm seeing like a massive white and gold library with glass floors and ceilings with what looks like infinite more floors going up and down.
I mean, that's kinda like what I'm seeing, but for me the shelves isn't full of books, they're full of beta tapes. Kinda makes sense to me, it really is the superior technology to VHS's. I always really thought they should have taken off more.
Okay, whatever. So maybe the stuff in here all looks different depending on who's seeing it? Vasilia, is you seeing like scrolls or something, or is you seeing books too?
You know that strange purple box you have, Dr. Champagne, that when you stick grey object into it, it allows you to play electronic games on television screen devices you have in your worlds? I am seeing hundreds of thousands, if not millions or billions of those on the shelves.
Wait, is you talking about my Nintendo 64? Is you seeing blatant Nintendo cartridges in here? Why the flip would you be seeing those of all things? You come from a world of dragons and swords and stuff.
The more you attempt to analyze what you see in the Akashic Records, the more likely you are to be driven mad by them.
Oh my god, what are you? Is you like an angel or something?
Oh, you flatter me, Dr. Champagne. No, I am the record keeper. I watch over the Akashic Records, which contain all information that has been or will be from this multiverse and from what you would perceive as past and future ones.
What, you've got information from the future? How does that work?
Well, to you in your physical reality, it is what you would consider to be the future, but in true reality, there is no time. Time is a construct your mind and body perceive when living in 3D reality. Even here you may perceive time as passing, but that is only because of the vessel you are manifesting through. Though as 3D reality beings, you will be unable to see any information of things to come in what, from your perspective, is the future, because it has not happened yet and could change.
How could it change if you've already got it written down here somewhere?
Ah, precisely, Dr. Champagne.
Oh, so you're just gonna be like deliberately confusing then, yeah?
Look, that's some cool, wacky, esoteric lore you got going on here, but we ain't really here for enlightenment or nothing. We just want to poke around at some of the lives of other alternate versions of us from around the multiverse. I want to know what other Benny Shops is out there and what they's up to. Like, is there a Benny that's got a toaster for a head and octopus legs or something? Not in this current multiverse, no, but I would happily show you other versions of yourselves, so long as you promise not to go looking around on your own in the records. Last time you did that, I had to pluck those events from your memory field. Remember, Benny?
What? No?
Precisely. Anyhow, are you all here to see various versions of yourselves then?
Yeah. I mean, I've got like a million questions from everything you've said, but I guess I'm just gonna roll with the punches here. What do other versions of us from across the multiverse look like? I mean, is there like evil Champagne, dragon Champagne, Spider-Man Champagne? Or how does this work?
Well, it is not that there are exactly other versions of you, but more like other Dr. Champagne McGreggor motifs. There are beings who have very similar appearance and histories to yourself, who we can find by searching the records for a scan of your energy makeup. Do you mind if I scan you?
Sure, go ahead. Did you just do it?
Yes, and now I have about 176 beings and creatures that are closely related enough to yourself that you'd likely consider them to be variants of yourself. Is there any more specific alternate traits you'd like to find?
Oh yeah, show us other versions of us that also have other versions of each other as friends and make paninis together.
That is incredibly specific, Benjamin. Why do you want that as part of the search?
Don't you think it'd be fun to see other us's that are friends? And paninis is like the glue that holds us all together. I mean, I would say that love and mutual respect is the thing that holds us all together, but sure, paninis. Is there a version of me that also has a version of Benny and Vasilia in his life, and we eat paninis together sometimes?
There are arguably 27 beings that fit that description. I'll reveal imagery of one of them to you now.
Alright, well, wow. Jeez, is that what I'd look like if I worked out more? Benny, look away, I don't want you to see that.
Is it fine if I keep looking? Because, I cannot look away.
Ah, come on, Champ, you know jacked guys ain't my thing. Sure, this guy looks impressive, but he looks like he's also never eaten a carb in his life. I bet he has his paninis on kale leaves or something instead of bread. Like my ma used to say before a date, if we can't share a pizza, I don't want to meet you.
That one is really pushing it as a rhyme.
Well, yeah, she said that one back when she was in her dating days. She wasn't as good at coming up with the zingers back then. Anyway, who is this, like sci-fi Tarzan McGreggor or something?
His name is Dr. Gregor McWhiskey, and he lives in a world where he worked for a dinosaur theme park, much like the one you worked for in your universe, except the company expanded massively around the world. To try and take things to a new level, they started trying to create a more intelligent human-dinosaur hybrid.
Oh, and let me guess, those clowns ended up making some kind of dinosaur zombie virus, and now that world is going through some kind of dino-apocalypse?
Yes, precisely, and it has been a fascinating story to watch unfold.
Wait, you've watched that whole thing happen?
I did, just now, yes. As I said, time does not work the way you perceive it to, so in what may have seemed like a millisecond to you, I have watched through the entire history of Dr. McWhiskey's life to this point.
Alright, so where does other versions of me and Vasilia come into this?
Well, in this world, Dr. McWhiskey entered a relationship with a mechanic named Benny Schwartz.
Hey, is that version of me Jewish?
He is indeed, yes.
Ah, well, I'm the Jewish Benny then. Anyway, go on.
Well, this Benny had been hired to make dinosaur animatronics and theme park rides. You stayed together when the dinosaur apocalypse began, and at one point met an excommunicated weapons inventor for the Russian military named Vasilia Kuznet.
Even in other dimensions, Kuznet name holds strong. Good to hear.
Together, these three have created a home base in one of the now run-down laboratories of the dinosaur theme park, and Schwartz keeps the electricity running so they can continue to make their favorite shared meal, while they keep their home fortified and hunt down escaped dinosaurs to use as meat.
They're grilling up dinosaurs for food in the apocalypse? Alright, I kinda wanna write fanfiction of this other me already. But back to Benny's question about this other me. Is he really eating proper paninis on the regular with those abs?
Yes, he is. They're just, slightly different.
What do you mean by different? Different how?
Well, he simply has them on preserved high-protein wraps instead of on bread, so it's still the same, it's just less—
No, that is absolutely not the same thing, and I don't think this guy should count as part of the PaniniVerse. PaniniVerse, I like that, you're really getting into this, and I think I'm gonna have to agree with Champia. I don't think that quite counts as a real panini. It absolutely does not count if it's on a wrap. It's gotta be on bread. And look, I'm all for eating healthy and getting some good, well-fermented, healthy sourdough, doing some homemade bread so you're not eating none of that blunder bread stuff that barely counts as bread at all. But you still gotta be having a panini on bread. It's like Benny's mom would say, if you ain't eating bread, then to me, you is dead. I, for one, do not care about how he enjoys his paninis. I like this other doctor. But what about me? What other Vasilia Kuznets who enjoy paninis are out there?
Well, one recently had her world raided by demons, but found an interesting way to keep herself and her allies safe from them.
Now when you say demons, does that mean one of the Archon demons attacked this place? And if so, which one of them? And what did they do? Cause, you know, we're here for a fun time, but this could actually be pretty useful info for us.
I cannot provide you with much information about the Archons that you aren't already aware of, but I suppose I can say that this dimension was attacked 3 months ago by the Archon demon Eldrorok. Though, if you're wondering what his tactics are for attacking other dimensions, I'm afraid there is little useful information I could provide anyhow, as, unlike the other Archons, he has no single method he uses. He is very unpredictable.
Right, well we kinda suspected that fitting into the weird movie genre theme that the Archon's got going on, Eldrorok was the horror one, and that kinda makes sense that he'd be unpredictable. If a horror movie was predictable, it wouldn't exactly be scary.
Yes, well, the world he attacked was quite similar to the one your Vasilia Kuznet is from, albeit where there had been a war between humans and elves raging for quite some time before Eldrorok brought an invasion of incredibly horrific demons to this world.
Why did you sound so excited when you said this?
Well, it was an incredibly exciting event to witness. So many stories of triumph and tragedy, so much growth and death. Life at its finest.
You know, you're kinda starting to sound like the Archons. Just looking for a good story, not caring about who gets hurt.
Very understandable, but the significant difference is that I'm not the one doing all the killing. Plus, to your soul, the death of your current physical form is just Tuesday.
What, is you saying that like an expression, or is you hinting at the fact that I'm actually gonna die on a Tuesday?
Well, I'm certainly not saying that you won't die on a Tuesday, but I'm not sure. It both has happened already and has not happened yet.
What does that... Ugh, this place is hurting me brain. Well, to be fair, Champ, Record Keeper here did say that'd happen if you tried to make too much sense of all this stuff. So get back to this Vasilia. Was her name actually Vasilia Kuznet?
Not quite, it was Vasilia Kuznet, and she was an armor crafter for the elves, making the finest armors in all the lands.
This is surprising absolutely no one.
Comparable only to Benji Sharpsway, a human armor crafter. They were close friends in spite of being on opposite sides of the war. They regularly met up at the restaurant of a half-elf named Brandy McGregor. She once worked as a beast tamer for the elves, but grew tired of the bigotry between elves and humans and those of her kind who would consider her parents traitors for being of opposite species. She followed her passion to open a restaurant and invented a type of meal that involves pressing a sandwich between two heated slabs of metal prior to serving.
Oh my Schwartz, Champ, you invented the panini in this world! That is pretty cool, but also, cue another apocalypse, right?
That is correct. Factions of both armies started mutating into demon monsters for select battles, causing both sides to grow fearful that the opposing army had started using some sort of black magic. Then they each started actually trying to use such magic, essentially creating demons themselves, which just further fueled Eldrorok's influence. Eventually, the consciousness of soldiers on both sides had been almost completely overtaken, and both armies fought with demon powers so carelessly that they were destroying their own homes and slaying their own citizens in the name of trying to get to their foes.
Yes, alright, this is all well and good, but I'd like to have it on the record that I don't think that's all well and good. But what did Vasilia Kuznet do during Demon Outbreak? Because I believe I would arm myself and go slaughter every demon that thought they had any right to infect someone wearing a Kuznet original armor.
That is essentially what she did, yes, but on top of that, she acted on an old rumor once believed in the more savage sects of her culture, which is that if you drink the blood of your enemy, you gain their powers.
Oh, did Vasilia drink demon blood and become part demon?
Yes, she fought and just barely defeated a vicious Jaguar Demon, and—
Oh, how did we not guess that layer of this? Of course it was a Jaguar Demon.
Yes, it was the fiercest demon she'd fought, and when she had nearly slain it, she drank its blood. Now, in many worlds, drinking a demon's blood will not actually benefit you. It may even kill you. But having known the tales of drinking blood to gain a foe's strength, Eldrorok had made his demon's blood in this world able to give powers to those who drank it.
Wait, he willingly gave power-ups to his... alright, I guess that makes sense with, the Archons wanting to see a good show and all in the worlds they attack.
Yes, the Archons don't want to be completely unchallenged. They want opponents who can put up a fight, at least for a while. Vasilia gained the strength of the beast and became able to transform into a Jaguar Demon. After gaining control of these powers, she hunted down demons for Benji and Brandy to drink the blood of as well, so that they could have abilities that would help protect them. Now they fight demons together and still spend much of their time together at McGregor's restaurant, eating his universe's equivalent of paninis.
Geez, kinda seems like we should go to that universe and help that world out, right? Or, not us exactly, but some of the more tough folks in the Sharp Gang. I beg your pardon, Dr. Champagne? Oh, sorry, Vasilia, I didn't mean not you, more just, not me. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you which dimension this has occurred in, or what state it is in currently.
Why not? What exactly is the rules here? What can you tell us and what can't you tell us?
I don't actually know. I'm just feeling it out, seeing what seems right and what doesn't, seeing the path your life is headed down based on what new information I reveal to you.
What, just feeling it out? You don't have some kind of higher power 10 commandments or something of what you can and can't do?
No, I'm simply going with the flow.
Well, that's just wild. What did Harold the Herald do to get banned from this place then if you're so lax with the rules?
He tried to burn the Akashic Records to the ground after attempting to steal the records on his step-siblings. Not that this place can actually be destroyed, but it was still enough of a faux pas to get him banned.
Yeah, that sounds like something Harry Boy would do. If it ain't possible to destroy this place, is it actually possible to steal stuff? Not that I would, but just out of curiosity.
No, not exactly. If a part of the records is taken away, it will simply reappear here with added information about the time it was stolen. When the seemingly physical record is brought out of the Akashic Records, it will instantly convert into thought energy and exist as a field around the person who stole it, with them likely unable to retain all that information. Then they may either forget it, go mad, I may step in to take the record from them, but even when I do, elements of what they learned will linger in the buried recesses of their memories and expose itself in their daily lives, often without them even realizing it.
Oh, I'm getting something here. So Benny has been here before at some point, and he stole a whole lot of stuff, yeah? That could explain why Benny has made so many different mech armors. That's like pop culture stuff from my universe, which is also probably real people and events in other universes, right?
Ah, yes. Very good, Dr. McGregor. When Benny was a child, he inadvertently learned how to project himself into the Akashic Records during his dreams, and he wandered around for the equivalent of days on end learning new information that he shouldn't know and taking different elements of the records with him. He never did any harm, so I didn't feel it necessary to ban him from ever coming back, but to prevent him from stealing any more, I decided to erase his memories of having come here at all and taken anything.
Oh, whoops, well I stand corrected about what I said earlier, I guess. I would try and steal stuff from the Akashic Records after all.
Yes, you have in the past, and admittedly I won't be surprised if you attempt to again, but in an effort to keep you from remembering the methods you used previously, I think I will erase this realization and memory from all of your minds.
What realization and memory? What was we just talking about?
Precisely. Anyhow, shall we move on to an alternate Benny? Ah, here we are. This is quite the interesting version of Benny. I have observed this universe and its struggles in this time period before. It is a universe which does have some interplanetary communication with alien races, but the version of Benny we find here on Earth is called Bendroid S49. He is an artificially intelligent being who makes human-like limbs and cloaking fields for other androids so they can appear human.
Oh my god, so instead of being a human who makes mech bits, he's a mech that makes human bits.
Well, not exactly, but also essentially yes.
Alright, so here's the question that I feel like you might give a real vague answer for, but does this Bendroid guy have a soul? Like, he's an artificial intelligent dude, you said. Dresden has said before that our buddy Charlie has a soul, and he's like a little robot guy. So clearly robots can have souls, I guess, but does this Benny robot have one too?
Yes, any being or creature, even artificial ones, that gain enough intelligence can develop a soul energy and have a soul channel through it so that soul can experience life in a specific 3D reality.
Wait, so in my universe then, is you saying that like ChatGPT might have a soul or develop one?
Well, let's see, you're from dimension M723, Well, let's just say that the next time you get this ChatGPT to write a happy birthday email to your estranged grandmother for you, it may behoove you to say please and thank you.
Oh, jeez, that's information that I don't even know if I want to know.
Well, alright, I can take that memory back from you.
What memory?
Precisely. Now back to Bendroid S49. In his world, androids are hated by many humans, but have technically gained most of the same rights as humans. Because of the hatred they face, many want to be able to disguise themselves as humans. It was outlawed for androids to wear such limbs and parts though, as people are meant to be able to tell on sight if a being they're interacting with is a human or an android.
Alright, that does sound pretty cool, but I got a very important question for you. In this universe, do I pay taxes?
No, very few variations of you do.
Ah, I like it. Well, I mean, you don't pay taxes because you don't like the government in your world and country. If you was in a universe where they had a well-run government, wouldn't you want that version of you to pay taxes?
Get a load of this guy. Oh, well-run government. Like that's a thing. Anyway, go on about this Bendroid guy. Well, Bendroid also has a partnership with an off-world alien spacesuit and weaponry designer named Vasilia Kuznet. They share many clients and often refer people to each other. They also meet once a week at a spaceport where they eat at the sandwich shop owned and run by Champagne McGreggor.
Wait, I run another restaurant in this one? Should I be taking this as like a sign or something?
Well, you do often take charge on preparing the paninis for us, and your homemade breads are quite delicious.
Yeah, come to think of it, all the best sandwiches we've had have been ones where you made homemade sauces for them. I mean, I guess, but I've just been messing around with flavors and stuff. I wasn't really thinking much about it, just, having fun with it. Wait, is this something I'm allowed to be learning here? Is you gonna let us leave with this memory or take it away?
I don't know. I suppose it is alright for you to have learned while here that you have an underlying predilection for cooking that you hadn't previously realized. It seems there was about an 82% chance you were going to have this realization within the next few months anyhow.
Alright, so translation, you're really just spitballing about what it's okay for us to know and what isn't.
Yes, precisely.
Alright, well if you're just making up the rules as you go, can you tell me if I ever lived any past lives? Sterling thinks that we've all lived past lives and probably do better and better each time, learning lessons or something like that. But I want to know if it's even more dramatic than that. Like, was I ever a penguin or a tomato or a straight person or something?
Potential other incarnations of your soul in other multiverses is certainly something I cannot tell you about. Though I suppose I can say that if hypothetically you had lived past lives, memories of those lives could slip back into your awareness through dreams or unexplained impulses to help guide you away from mistakes you may have made in previous lives.
Oh, interesting. I can actually think of a few times where that may have happened. Because there's one time before I started becoming a bit less shady of a guy, I was debating whether or not to help this kid Charlotte get away from a serial killer named Willie Afton. I wanted to just hand the kid a gun and send her on her way because she didn't have no money. But while I was debating what to do, I had this super vivid waking dream where I was a killer myself named Bobby, and I was trying to kill some kid and a pet chameleon. I don't remember you ever telling me this part of your weird Five Nights at Freddy's mech stories. I skipped a lot of details when I told you those stories. I was trying to keep them to 15-minute blocks. But anyway, that really spooked me and it convinced me to help the kid out. Or at least to make a deal with her that, still benefited me. You saying there's a chance that might have been me reliving a past memory?
Perhaps it may have come up for you as a reminder of something your soul perceived as a karmic debt from a past life that you needed to repay by saving a child. But do not treat this as confirmation. I certainly cannot confirm if Bobby Blunt was a past incarnation of your soul in another multiverse.
Wait, how did you know my last name in the dream was...
And that's wiped.
What's wiped?
Precisely. Anyhow, Bendroid is actively being pursued by the Security Council of Personhood for his antics in helping androids appear human. But, as you may suspect, he is very good at making himself appear as someone else with his interchangeable parts, and that, paired with weaponry provided to him by Vasta, has made him a very difficult person for them to track down. Though being on the run does make it more difficult for him to spend time with Rumtum.
Yeah, hear that, Champ was still the best version of us in the multiverse. Well, I, feel kind of bad for them and hope they can make it work. Also, is it just me or does Champagne McGreggor absolutely sound like a version of me that would be a pirate, not a space cook?
Or would fit in world like that strange picture show you made us watch with all the humanoid cats singing? Even as someone who technically can become a humanoid cat herself, that was very strange tale to observe.
True, that was a weird movie, but I absolutely stand by making us watch that, solely for the fact that Dresden was 100% singing along to it under his breath at one point. Yeah, he says he wasn't, but he absolutely was. I bet he saw the musical cats back in his universe before he was a crazy genocide person, and those songs just got locked away in his brain, waiting to come out.
Well, perhaps I should not tell you this, but I can actually confirm that the being you know as Dresden Oakland did indeed see the musical theater stage production called Cats in his universe when he was 6 years old, and found it simultaneously terrifying and entertaining.
I did not even consider that you can tell us things about the pasts of persons we know.
Can you tell me why the space cat man named Bastard Terminex is attracted exclusively to horrifically unattractive people and does not find irrefutably beautiful people, such as myself, appealing? Actually, I really should not tell you these things. You should discover them for yourselves through conversation with these people you know, and Benny, I can see you writing that information about Dresden on your arm.
Yeah, wipe it from my brain all you want, it's down in ink now. Yeah, back off, he's going all memento on you. Write down that thing about me secretly being a chef too.
It's not that you are secretly a chef, Doctor, it's that you have a
Alright, I got it all down. Do you want that chat GPT thing written down too? What chat GPT thing? Right, she already made you forget that. Alright, let's just get out of here before the Keeper has time to wipe us. Yeah, nobody wipes me without my permission. That sounds weird. Let's go!
As I said, time is not real, so it does not matter how quickly you... And they are gone. They are quite fun. I look forward to their imminent return. I hope you enjoyed that fresh batch of banter with the Panini pals, and let me know in the comments other Multiverse Tales characters you'd want to see alternate versions of, and maybe what kind of alternate version of them you'd want to see, because it could be fun to do another round of this, still with Benny and friends probably being the ones narrating and doing some banter for it, but design-wise doing some other Multiverse Tales variants. And of course, if you want to know more about that Bobby Blunt character that got referenced, make sure to check out the recent Bonding with Bayou Knights community redraw episode. Because I realized that while Vigilance is definitively set in another multiverse, there are still some ways I can integrate some Multiverse Tales characters and concepts into it. But besides that, that's all for today, except of course for ending this video on some kind of positive or inspiring note, and the thought I want to leave people with today is kind of a goofier quote than usual, but I read it on an Instagram account called Law of Attraction Live, and I really liked it, and I still think it is a good message. Whatever you do today, do it with the confidence of a 4-year-old in a Batman shirt. Again, kind of a silly one, but a good reminder to do everything that you're doing today with a little bit more confidence. Or a lot more confidence. I hope that's inspiring, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next episode on Monday, which is the first episode of The Summoner's Beasts. I'll see you there, goodbye.